Hello everyone and welcome to F1 2020. The game is finally here, the wait is over, and we can get into it. So today I'm going to get into the driver career mode to at least complete the Formula 2 aspect of it, because I love the Formula 2 cars. So I think that will be a good way to get started, just like last time. So we will do the full F2 season, there's not really much more to say, so let's just get into it. I will do the My Team mode probably tomorrow and get into that, but for now let's just get into Formula 2.
Welcome to the beginning of your Formula 1 journey. Before competing at the top level, many drivers will race in Formula 2.
From this screen, you can choose from multiple Formula 2 experiences. The first offers a selection of short scenarios. The short season consists of a shortened Formula 2 calendar with one race per weekend. The full season contains every round with a feature and sprint race in each. And finally, you have the option to jump directly into Formula 1.
Formula 2 is one of the key steps many drivers will take on the path to Formula 1. It is a championship where the best up-and-coming drivers in the world must compete in identical cars to hone their skills and showcase their talents to teams in the F1 paddock. Whichever Formula 2 experience you choose, your performance in the championship matters. Finish high up in the table and your Formula 1 career will start on a high, allowing you to more easily negotiate with the top teams on the grid.
I am so excited for this, to finally get into this game. It feels like I have been waiting, or we have all been waiting a long time for this to come out, but I'm sure it will be very much worth it. So let's start by choosing our team. You can see all of the 2019 teams there: Callum ILOTT, Dams, UNI Virtuosi, Prema, Charouz, Campos, MP, BWT Arden and Trident. So last time around in F1 2018 I went with Trident, not knowing anything about Formula 2, but this time I'm going to go with Prema. I think they will be a good choice. Schumacher will likely be my teammate, so that can only be a plus. We'll sign with the Red Bull Academy because I've never driven a Honda powered car. But anyway, let's get into it. Alright, so here we go for our first qualifying session in Formula 2. You'll notice we're actually on the third flying lap. These are consecutive laps too. Haven't been in to change tyres or anything. This is just the third flying lap on the same set of tyres, and I kept finding more and more improvements as pace that I had just got better and better, and I got more, I guess, in tune with the car. But as we continue on this third lap, you can see finding improvements again. A purple first sector, so we are looking good at the moment as we head on through the middle sector and the last 5 corners. Now this is quite a tricky section of track, but I've typically found a lot of time through here compared to the other drivers in the past, missing the apex there through the third to last corner at the start of the last sector, but still looking okay. And it's a green middle sector, so we may find some improvements. We're already sitting in P4, so we are actually looking very good in this session as we come towards the line to finish our third and final lap in qualifying. So here we go across the line, and we move up into P3 behind Correa and
The grid is
Boccolacci.
all set for the race tomorrow, but before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, which are Correa, Boccolacci and the Scientist. Goodbye for now then, but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
And it is Juan Manuel Correa taking pole position, Dorian Boccolacci in second, Guan Yu Zhou all the way down in 18th, Schumacher a long way down as well. So a very, very mixed up grid for this first feature race of the season. That is really a crazy order. De Vries and Latifi out of the top 10 as well. So really weird qualifying session. But anyway, let's get into the race.
Welcome to Sakir and the Bahrain International Circuit, where the grid is forming up ready for today's race. Bahrain represents an exceptional 3.36 miles of racing. Lots of opportunities to overtake throughout its 15 corners. Now, this track has a reputation for being brutal on the rear tyres, so keep an eye on how these young drivers manage their rubber. Strategy here could ultimately determine the winner of this race. Davide, you're a three-time winner around here in 1 week, I believe, back in 2012. How on earth do you make the tyres last around this racetrack? They degrade so quickly.
To be honest, the key to the race is having a good start so you can get your car into a good position. Then save the tires as much as you can and push just at the end.
Let's take a look at the grid positions for today's race. A fantastic effort from Juan Manuel Correa yesterday puts him on pole position. And it's Dorian Boccolacci in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have the Scientist, Matsushita, Sergio Sette Camara, and King, Delatraz, Giotto, Mazepin, Ralph Boschon, Hubert, De Vries, Nicholas Latifi, and ILOTT, Alesi, Schumacher, Aitken, and Guan Yu Zhou. Calderon, Mahavir Raghunathan starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright, so here we go, getting ready to start our first feature race in F1 2020 as we watch Mahavir Raghunathan take the last spot on the grid as we are preparing to go to those 5 red lights. And it's lights out and we're underway for the Bahrain feature race. It's a great start by Correa. He's going to lead the way into the first corner. Boccolacci's done enough to hold on to second. And I think we're okay for third as well as we go to the outside, round the outside of Dorian Boccolacci, but we're too deep under brakes. Boccolacci's going to get through on the inside and hold it round the outside of turn 2 as we have to back off and jump the curbs to make sure we don't make any contact with the French driver as Sette Camara and Matsushita battle away side by side behind us. And they will continue to battle away as we head through the middle sector. But we have kept the front wing of the car and maintained our position off the start, so that's all we could really ask for. And now we'll see if we can chase down those 2 cars in front of us. But we'll see what the pace is like as we continue through this race. Very careful on the power there as Camara and Matsushita continue to battle away side by side. Camara kicking up the dust, Matsushita off the road, and Camara going wide as well. And Matsushita dropping all the way to the back of the field. Calderon, Schumacher, and another car there going past as well at the back. So an absolute disaster for Nobuharu Matsushita at the start of this race. And he has dropped to the back after qualifying in 4th position. So not the return to Formula 2 that he would have been looking for. But it is a long season, there's plenty of time to come back. But here's the onboard from Sette Camara. He just gives him a little nudge as he himself runs wide through the corner. And you can see us up the road there running wide through there as well, not causing any issues for other cars. But Sette Camara losing positions there as well on the exit. But here's the onboard from Matsushita. And just a bit of a clumsy, awkward bit of contact there. And he does the right thing, stays out of the way of the line of cars coming through. Many of them would have been unsighted, not knowing what
just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
Was going on. But Jordan King is right behind us as we're continuing on through this race. So we're going to have to start watching out for him because he has got some mega pace at the moment, and we're going to need to try to defend our position from the Brit very, very soon. But we're okay for now as we head through turn 4, able to take the apex, but he's been getting closer and closer as Boccolacci and Correa have gotten further away. But here we go now, Jordan King making the move down the inside as we head towards the first corner. And we're not going to fight that too much. We're going to sit behind in the DRS and see if we can make the move back on him as we head towards turn 4. Aggressive over the curbs. DRS open now on the run to turn 4. Can we maybe make a move? But not going to be close enough as there's an issue for Tatiana Calderon in her first race in Formula 2, blocking Schumacher there on the apex as the engine expires in the opening race of the season. Not good signs for the reliability of these cars, but anyway, we won't worry about that too much as it is time for us to come in to the pits for the first time and just getting it stopped for the line. And I am very glad because something I completely forgot to mention is why we had such a lack of pace is we had to start the race on our qualifying tyres, which I don't think is the case in Formula 2. So I'm not sure if that's a glitch, but we were forced onto our qualifying tyres at the start of the race. So that could be just a glitch in the game. Maybe it is the rules, I've got no idea. But if it is a glitch, that's fair enough. The game is still technically in early access, so I'm sure
no more scheduled pit stops.
Any issues like that will be fixed. But anyway, we continue on, and as we head past the pit lane, we will move up into 14th position. So we do get back ahead of Louis Delatraz, who was the car behind us before we pit. So we've maintained our position throughout the pit stop phases. And as we move on, we'll see the majority of the other cars come into the pit lane, and that elevates us back up into 5th position. There is still one car yet to stop, and I believe it is Antoine Hubert, who has stayed out longer than everyone else. But right now the effective order is Jordan King in the lead, so he's had a great pit stop phase and jumped both Correa and Boccalacci as we make a mistake letting Louis Delatraz pass there, as the tyres just not giving me the grip that I was hoping for through that right-hander. But we are right on the back of him. We're going to see if we can come back at him as we head towards the turn 11, but Giotto hanging around as well, but not a good exit for him as we have a look down the inside of Delatraz, and we get the move done on the Swiss driver and move our way back up into 5th position, 4th effectively, after Hubert makes his final stop. So now we need to really just get the hammer down and see if we can close up to Boccalacci and Correa while we have fresh tyres on the car, but theirs are even fresher, so we may have an issue in doing that, but we'll try our best and see what we can do, as that is going to get even harder now as Boccalacci sets the fastest lap of the race.
By 11.6 seconds.
As we are sneaking around, and Hubert makes his final stop, moving us up into 4th position. So yeah, we really just need to put in some good laps now and see if we can close up to Correa first, and then King and Boccalacci, who are battling away for the lead. Our fastest lap of the race will take us in the right direction, and eventually we do catch up to Correa as we squeeze down the inside. Correa a little bit awkward in the braking zone there, moving around as we go around the outside of turn 2, and he leaves us the space, to be fair to him there, and we get through up onto the podium in this race, back into our starting position. So Correa starting first, now down to 4th. Boccalacci still in his starting position of 2nd.
The safety car is out. The safety car is out. We need to form up at a reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time.
And now the safety car is out because Jack AITKEN is out of the race with a mechanical failure. So that is a disaster for him, and he'll be looking to
let's get ready
hopefully
to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field
bounce
accelerates,
back from
remember,
that.
there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
So you can see trying to generate some heat in the tyres, but it just is not happening. And the car is very, very cold on this restart, so it'll be very difficult to try to make anything of it. And I've just completely missed the opportunity there, and both Boccalacci and King.
The incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. We're leading our teammate by 7.0 seconds.
Have taken off. You'll also notice Boccalacci has taken the race lead at this point, as we're trying to navigate the first few corners, and the tyre temperature slowly coming up, but it is enough, and we just need to weave around a little bit to just try and generate any tyre heat that we can, as we have a look down the inside of King into the first corner. Not going to happen though, as we are moving on through this race, and just only a few laps to go now in this one. We're on lap 30 of 32, and that was a bad exit there. No opportunity on King into turn 4, but you can see the cornering speed we have compared to King, so I'm not sure if he's got some kind of issue, if he maybe had some contact with Boccolacci when they were battling, or if he's just hit more tyre wear than I have. But we are right behind him already after being quite a long way back heading into turn 4, so clearly we have the pace compared to Jordan King. Boccolacci is gone. You can see him up the road there heading through turn 10, and he has just taken off, and we have nothing on him at this point in the race. But we do have something on Jordan King as we're looking around to the right as we head towards turn 11. Round the outside of King, a bump at the apex sends us wide, and King holds on. He has to slow down to even make the corner, but great defense from Jordan King as we get up on the curb and a big slide, but we just about hold on to the car, and we can focus on once again trying to get a run on Jordan King as we sit in the slipstream on the run to the final corner, and they're going to go to the inside as we head towards the first corner down the inside, and there's no competition there. We get past relatively easily and ease our way into the first corner and get the move done there. So now on the penultimate lap of the race, I should mention that King may come back at us looking to the inside, but he's not going to get close enough to make the move, and we hold on to second place for the moment. So now we need to just hold on. So on to the final lap of the race now, through the very tricky turns 9 and 10. Very tricky on the traction here, and we have a big slide. We just can't get any kind of power down. King straight past us, and we're going to need to try to fight back here on Jordan King as we head into the final sector now, and through turn 11 you can see we do have a grip advantage if we can get the right line trying to set up the overtake, but no opportunity into the third to last corner. So now sitting right behind him on the run along the straight towards the final corner, we're going to have an opportunity here. So let's see if we can make the most of it. We're going to have a look down the inside. King doesn't even defend. We go down the inside. We miss the apex by a mile, but it doesn't matter because we've got the move done as Dorian Boccolacci crosses the line to win the first feature race of the season. An unbelievable race by him. We cross the line for P2.
Can't complain about that one. That was an excellent drive.
And yes, I have to agree. Can't complain. Giuliano, a Lacey driver of the day, he finished up in 9th position, passing a lot of cars to get there.
Brilliant stuff from Campos today. What a superb victory. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
It's time to present the top drivers with their trophies for today's race, and there are a lot of people in the paddock very happy with this result. It's Campos on the top step.
So there we go, Campos with the first race win of the season with Dorian Boccolacci. We take a P2 finish, Jordan King in 3rd. So this could be a very interesting season unfolding in front of us, with a lot of the expected title contenders out of the points.
It's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Dorian Boccolacci takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
I think Giuliano Lesi. It was just a masterclass. He was faster than everyone else. He got it.
And now a look at the team standings. Campos moved to the top of the table. After all this drama, you'll be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Alright, thank you Alex. But what do we say about that one? Correa 1st to 4th, not a good race for him. Good qualifying and a great start, but not enough for him to hold on to the lead throughout the race. Boccolacci just too fast for any of us today, and even though he dropped to third after the pit stops, he was able to fight back and come through to take the overall win. But a lot of the title contenders I would have expected, Matsushita, De Vries, Latifi, Sede Camera, all Guan Yu Zhou as well, all with either qualifying or race issues that stopped them from performing as well as they maybe could have. Jack Aitken as well, bad qualifying and obviously a DNF in the race. So yeah, very weird sort of results screen there. But anyway, that is the way it goes in the opening round, it seems. But it will be interesting to see how that continues and how those drivers can fight their way back up the order throughout the rest of the season. But it's a good start for us, only second to Boccolacci, who had an incredible race today, has to be said. But yeah, what else can we say? Calderon with a DNF as well, but I think she was out of the points at the time. So yeah, not too much of an effect to the overall result. But yeah, it was just, we just didn't quite have the pace to win the race. Just a few mistakes cost us a few spots at the wrong time. We spent a bit of time battling with Delatraz, and that probably affected our chance of being able to fight for the lead. But at the end of the day, we really only caught up to the leaders after the safety car. So if it wasn't for that, we may have been stuck to third position. So the safety car did help us out in the end. But anyway, let's get into the sprint race.
We're returning after yesterday's feature race for the final event of the weekend, the sprint. Down on the grid below us, the drivers are spending their last few minutes getting ready. Very soon, they're going to kick this race off in dramatic fashion. Alongside me today, I'm delighted to welcome back to the commentary box the 2012 GP2 champion, Davide Valsecchi. There looks to be a challenging race ahead of the drivers today, Davide. With that in mind, what are you looking out for today?
Well, Alex, I want to see how the drivers at the back of the grid are going to roll down. They'll need to make an impact in the early stages, and they're probably hoping for a bit of luck at the start. We may see some bold maneuvers out there today.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Only the top 8 get points in the sprint race, Jeff. I thought you would know that. But anyway, we go to the 5 red lights. And the lights are out. We're underway for the sprint race. And it's an ordinary start for me. A great start by Jordan King. He's already challenging 2 or 3 cars ahead of him as we head towards the first corner. And we're going to have to try to find a window of opportunity around the outside of Louis Delatraz as Giotto, King and Correa are 3 wide through turns 1, 2. And King loses out there as we get ahead of Correa. Boccolacci getting involved now as well, and he's going to make the move to the inside of Delatraz as we now follow through behind Jordan King as he's lost out in that 3 wide battle. But Boccolacci gets through up into 7th position ahead of Delatraz down to 8th. We've got 1 position ahead of our grid spot position, so that is a good start for us, and we'll see if we can continue this form, trying to get a good exit.
Let's keep it up.
Through these tight corners on cold tyres is quite difficult, so just trying to maintain the speed of the cars in front of us as we get a bit of a slide on through turn 10, but we hold on and we can try to focus on catching up to Jordan King as these tyres are now coming up to temperature. So through turn 11 we are typically fast through this section of track, but just not close enough to really set up a move anytime soon. So we're going to just need to just push on and see if we can close the gap at the moment, because there's too much airspace there at this point in time. But for now, we've gotten through the first lap cleanly, and that's what matters. We still have a full front wing, so we can just push on. No pit stops in this race, so no undercut advantage like we got last time. not that it really helped us on that occasion, but as we move on, you can see we do get closer to Jordan King. We're going to have a look down the inside of the first corner, very deep under brakes, and we're going to get the move done on Jordan King round the outside of turn 2, and we are clear.
Nice move.
And up into 5th position in this race. Next up is Luca Giotto, so let's see if we can catch up to the Italian as we head into the final corner. Not close enough to make a move there, but we'll have the DRS on the run to turn 1, so that might be our opportunity that we need. So here we go in the slipstream with the DRS open.
Just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
I don't really care about De Vries. He's out in front after getting a reverse grid pole. He will be unstoppable in this one, but we go for a dive at the last minute on Giotto down the inside, and we get it done and lose the back end a little bit as we slide through turn 2 and cut off Giotto a little bit awkwardly there, but we get through nonetheless. Giotto down to 5th, ourselves up to 4th as we cut to the inside at the last minute and make the move. Giotto saw it coming at the last possible moment, but that was very awkward for him, and we'll see on board that will show how awkward it was as we look forwards now, and you can see just losing the rear end, and lucky he didn't stick the nose in to try and hold the position through turn 2, or it certainly would have got some chopped off.
Behind is 8.9 seconds.
But here he comes once again to the right hand side, and we just can't quite fight it on the outside. We're going to try and switch it back to the inside and get the run along the second straight to turn 4 and see if we can make a move back on him there with the DRS open. We've got a good exit. We're going to have a small opportunity, but just not close enough, and he stays ahead for now, so we're just going to have to sit through behind him through the middle sector and have another opportunity later on. So here we go along the main straight. We're super late on the brakes, miles too late in fact, and we just don't get a stop to the corner, and Giotto continues on as if nothing happened, and we need to go back to the drawing board as Nick De Vries continues to lead this race and dominating it, I would presume. But as we continue to battle away with Giotto around the outside of turn 1 this time, this will give us the inside line for turn 2. This might be what we need to do as we sweep through, squeezing right out of the road very rudely there. So very aggressive racing with the Italian, but we get the move done. Finally up into 4th position as Latifi swerves towards Calderon. I'm not sure what that was about, but he seems to have some kind of issue, and will be retiring from this race with a mechanical failure. But look at this, just swerves towards Calderon, and lucky for Raghunathan, AITKEN Joe behind that they didn't get caught up in the incident, but very strange by Latifi there. I don't think there was contact, but anyway, we've now got Callum ILOTT further up the field, putting pressure on Boschum. ILOTT round into the wall. What on earth just happened to Callum ILOTT?
The safety car is out.
Safety car out. We've got a car stopped with a wheel missing. It's Callum ILOTT. Let's have a look at what just happened. Callum ILOTT just couldn't decide which side of Boschum he wanted to go to, and weave right, weave left, and just lost the back end along the straight, smacks into the wall, and that is an embarrassing crash for Callum ILOTT. We've got more drama here. One of the Campos cars has had an issue. I think it is Jack Aitken. As we look at the side, I can't see Boccolacci's sponsors, so yeah, I think that's Jack Aitken with an issue there. So a disaster for Campos, because Boccolacci has dramatically dropped down in this race as well. I didn't catch what happened to him, but he has really dropped down and is well out of the points at this moment in the race. So it's all kicking off.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
And that is also the second retirement, mechanical failure retirement in 2 races, the first 2 races for Aitken, so an absolute disaster for him. And well, it's just been a weekend to forget for him, as we get another bad restart away
Green flag. We're racing again.
from the safety car, and well, it's just not gone well. But we're going to try and come back at the cars in front. We have a little bit more tyre temperature than last time, but not much. But as we struggle to get through the first few corners, it might be enough to keep us in contention, unlike last time where we really dropped back and lost a lot of pace after the safety car.
Final lap of the race. We're leading our teammate by 4.2 seconds.
But final lap of the race now, you can see we couldn't catch the cars ahead. We're just defending from Luca Giotto as we head into the first corner, but Giotto is not going to give up quite as easily this time. He's right behind as we head towards turn 4. We're going to take the inside line. Giotto, you're going to have to go the long way around if you want the position, and on the inside line we managed to sweep through and maintain second, but Giotto with a switchback round the outside and through the middle sector gets the position. A really nice move there by Giotto to switch back and take 4th position away on the final lap. So now it is up to us. Can we maybe make a move as we head towards our best part of the track in the final few sectors? As we continue on, we will have a really strong run through the 3rd to last corner. A good exit. Can we do what we did to Jordan King? I don't think so. Giotto is a fair way ahead. So I think the race might already be over for us, and in fact it is, as Nick de Vries wins the sprint race. We're going to come across the line for P5.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Tatiana Calderon, driver of the day.
So as they climb out of the car, the ART team are ready and waiting to celebrate a thoroughly deserved win. I got it. So, Davide, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Wow, well, there's no doubt that the race was impacted as soon as the safety car made an appearance. It was so important how the successful team today reacted to this situation. They were decisive and stuck with their strategy, which really helped them take an advantage.
ART, the French team who have been racing since the 90s in various forms of motorsport, are once again back on the winner's podium today after a brilliant display of driving skill.
So there you have it, Nick de Vries with the race win today, and Juan Manuel Correa and Antoine Hubert sharing the podium as they did back in France, I believe, in the real life season.
After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the driver's table. The scientist takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
It's got to be Mick Schumacher. He attacked all race long. He was amazing.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Teams' Championship. Prema moved to the top of the table. After all this drama, you would be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Interesting. Davide Valsecchi's driver of the day different to Calderon's, but or the one different to the one that said Calderon after the race. You know what I mean. But anyway, a bit of a disappointing result in the end. I think a podium was on the cards, but I don't know. It just didn't really have the pace. A bit like the first one. With Boccalacci being too fast, we just didn't have the pace to win the race once again. Nick de Vries was way out of our realm, but I mean, to be fair, we did start in 7th, so expecting a win would be expecting a lot, but a bit disappointing to lose out to Giotto in the end. But he made the right moves at the right time and got the position in the end. But it was backwards and forwards between us for quite a while in that race, so it really could have gone either way for 4th and 5th position. But we have the championship lead, as you may have just heard, so it's not all bad news, but I feel like we just could have gotten a bit more out of this race. But oh well, that's the way it goes, and Giotto will be happy with his progress in this one to get that P4. But yeah, what else to say about this one? Jordan King, again, flashes of pace, but overall just dropping back a bit, especially towards the end. And another safety car as well, 2 safety cars in the first 2 races, so it has been a chaotic introduction to F1 2020, and I look forward to much more chaos to come. The crash from Callum ILOTT, what on earth was that? I've got no idea what the deal with that was. He just lost control in a straight line, which takes some amount of skill to do. But anyway, not much else to say, so I will leave you here. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you for the first episode of the My Team career mode tomorrow. Goodbye.